a success, unlike last week's failure to pass him off as a small child. Non-magical people saw what they expected to see. Ignorance was a snuggly blanket, protecting them from a world they wanted to know nothing about. If nothing outside of their worldview had directly interfered with their lives personally, they saw nothing that might upset that illusion of normality. Dressed a blue sphere with a giant eyeball in the center of his face and a pair of overalls and a wig, he passed as a human child. At least that's how it had started last week at the market. That was until one of the vendors had tried to offer him a free cookie. In his enthusiastic acceptance, Fernando had bitten a chunk out of her finger. Quite a ruckus had ensued. I'd needed to heal her so she didn't lose use of the digit, but had to leave teeth marks so she could rationalize the experience in a way that seemed ordinary to her. The recovery was a success. Still, judgmental looks were directed our way after that, and the little boy costume was retired. Honestly, I was a little surprised we received such a warm welcome at the market this evening. To be safe, we stayed as far from the cookie stall as possible. If Fernando had wanted to wait at home or in the cart, he wouldn't have needed a disguise at all. No one would have noticed him. But he wanted attention, to be a part of the world outside of our safe little forest bubble. I was trying. "Puppy!" A pint-sized ball of energy barreled toward us from the side. Fernando said in his garbled way, "No, thank you." He stepped behind me, shielding himself from view with my skirt. The toddler ran like a linebacker and felt like one as she slammed her shoulder into my calf. "Lily," a man called after the girl. Oh, the air left my lungs as the pain in my legs swelled outward. Lily was my daughter's name, too. The girl squirmed between my legs. "I'm so sorry, ma'am." The man hurried over and circled around me to scoop up his little girl. "You can't go running off like that, Lily, and you can't pet a dog without asking first." The little girl turned her big brown eyes at me. "Can I please pet your puppy? Pretty please with gummy bears on top?" I looked down at Fernando. He was a blue ball with a unibrow as thick as my arm and long arms, yet almost no legs. His frown showed row after row of sharp teeth. He waggled his finger in a gesture of no. "It touched me. I bite off hand." "He's a grumpy dog," I told the child. "Best not to pet him." Tears rolled down her cheeks as she burst out in a deafening wail. Her father made an apologetic frown and tried to calm the child as she thrashed in his arms. Fernando and I took the opportunity to make our escape. Fernando offered to drive. What would people think if they saw a dog behind the wheel of a tiny four-wheeler? I insisted it be me, and immediately regretted it when I had to squish myself up to fit on the seat that was intended for a small child. On the way home, I couldn't help but think about the little girl's energy, and how that enthusiasm to explore reminded me of my own Lily. When I closed my eyes, I could still see her round 5-year-old face, eyes filled with mischief, and a grin to match as she chased Fernando by the river. She was the only child he had ever allowed to touch him. I could feel her in my arms when she skinned her knee, and her face was beet red because she held her breath, refusing to let even a single tear fall. I could see the stubborn set in her jaw when I tried to stop her from joining the library. 70 years had passed since I lost her, and I still couldn't enjoy fond memories of my daughter without stirring the crippling pain in my heart at knowing I should have done more to protect her. Even though the drive was short, by the time we reached the magic shop, my hands and wrists ached so badly I wasn't sure I would be able to use them the rest of the day. My legs were cramped from having to fit on the too small vehicle. I should have ridden in the cart and let Fernando drive the tiny four-wheeler back. I could feel the life energy of the Lumio in my purse. It was a gentle ping, a reminder that magic could heal me if I so chose. As soon as I made it inside, I dropped my purse and the apple bag on the table and went straight for the pain medicine. Fernando opened the bottle for me and poured me a glass of water. I thanked him, took the pills, and lay down in bed in my little room at the back of the magic shop. I closed my eyes and willed myself.